bicycle from somebody. Who will be riding a bicycle in this arena? I don't know.
Hello. Welcome to He's Got a Bicycle.
Look at Byecycle.
He's got a bicycle in this arena. I'll do it every time because it makes Boss do that little face that he's trying not to giggle and snickle at. Yes, welcome to February's episode of He's Got a Bicycle. What's wrong, Boss? You look confused.
January, February,
Yep.
March,
Yep.
April. Yeah, the February episode.
Hey. Technically, this is still February's episode.
Yes.
I didn't say we're recording it in February.
Yeah.
I just said it's February's episode.
Yes.
Yes, welcome to February's WWF Wrestling Sports Entertainment. Welcome to the worldwide leaders in professional wrestling, or whatever the fuck they said back in the day.
It's like the World Wrestling Federation for over 50 years, a revolutionary force in sports entertainment.
That was the one, Boss. That was the one. Where it is, of course, the main event number two. But first, for those of you who don't know, and those of you who may have forgot what we are men in armchairs, where we sit in. Well, I sit in an armchair, a very nice winged back armchair. Boss sits in a very comfortable, I believe, computer chair, and we watch professional wrestling.
Yes.
Or sports entertainment, depending on what era we're watching. And this, of course, he's got a bicycle. I got a bicycle in this arena. And it's because, we are doing 1989. Now, previously, you last saw us, we were watching the Royal Rumble. 1989. Where Boss, Steve Jones 313, Boss Caulfield, my partner in crime, the HBK to my Triple H. Because just like that, you may have thought we retired as well. And myself, the Geek King, the Cash Brew, if you will. We sit and we watch wrestling, we talk shit, and often we don't even talk about what the fuck's going on TV. But we're watching the main event. We're giving you a lot of preamble because you need to find the main event, because you'll be looking for the main event and it's in Saturday night's main event. So go there. Yeah. Yes. We can't provide links because that will get us took down.
Go to watch.wwe.com/episode/the-main-event-2-4884.
Or just searching whatever web search you use, Google, the main event number 2, WWE Network, or I don't know, go to Saturday main event section in the WWE Network. That's how we're watching it. That's how we got here. So yes. Now, if those, for a quick reminder, because Boss, you may not remember where we left off. We left off with, in the world of the WWF, in the world of wrestling, in a weird spot. Hulk Hogan and the Macho Man of the Mega Powers, but Moch doesn't seem all that cold with Hogan. You know, love me like a brother, yeah. Uh-huh. You know, he was a bit paranoid with maybe some things, you know. Not that Moch ever did that. We saw Big John Studd win a very underwhelming Royal Rumble, where eventually Boss got a correct entrant right. Which he did well, considering he didn't know anyone in that Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
But remember, this is Boss Caulfield. This is Steve Jones 313. Boss has one simple mantra in life: pro wrestling, but anti-confusion.
Absolutely.
Speaking of which, we have a new shop.
A new shop?
A new shop. We have a Big Cartel, which we're focusing more of our efforts on for our merchandise. You can find it. There'll be a little thing above me that's going over. It would have my names. It will have all our links and intros and stuff like that. The main thing it will have, though, is also the website. It is Men in Armchairs all together. .bigcartel.com. There will be a link in the description as well below. Now, how brown cow, or whatever the fuck it is.
Now, brown cow.
Yes. And the fox
I don't know why I went near Mark Hamill there.
Now, brown cow. I don't know, but your Mark Hamill was one of your most underrated voices you do. But yes. Now, there's a lot of things going up, but ultimately we are just leading up to the world of WrestleMania 5. And WrestleMania 5, I'm going to be honest with you, it's one match pay-per-view. It's one story. There's lots of matches on it, but there's only one match that we really care about. Mm-hmm. And we're going to see why on today's episode.
So tell us a little bit more about what we're going to be watching today.
So from what I remember of this particular one, we will see a huge moment in wrestling when we actually see a huge tag team in the Twin Towers of Akeem and the Big Boss Man with Slick. I said Slick. Married to the same Constitution. Taking on the Mega Powers, the Hulkster and the Macho Man, with the beautiful Miss Elizabeth at my side. Not a Hogan's at my side, yeah. We also see Hercules in action and probably some other bullshit going on. But ultimately, as with any Saturday main event, as with any main event, it's all about what happens in the first 10 minutes of the show. So
this eventually aired, from what I'm seeing from the date here, this aired on the 3rd of February 1989.
Yeah, and the wrestling world was forever changed.
So this is a 47-minute and 58-second show.
Yep. And what don't we do, boss?
We don't skip the intro.
Because otherwise you'd miss Vince McMahon's beautiful melodic voice.
Exactly. You gotta hear the sweet, melodic, soothing sounds of "Welcome to the Royal Rumble" and stuff like that.
The Hulkster! You know?
You have often said that you wouldn't mind if they did that one time, just for old time's sake.
Oh, I want them to do it every year.
Just
no. Listen. I love the spoilers, right? I love the fact that when we watch a Royal Rumble, you didn't know who's going to come out, and then they could spoil your fucking card because you're sitting there on your bingo card going, "Oh, I'm going to get this one," or you've pulled your names out the hat like we do, your numbers out the hat, and everyone's going, "Oh, I've got a good number here. I'm telling you, 22 is the year this year," and then suddenly it's the fucking boogeyman or some bullshit, like you know, like. Oh, it's Carlito, and you're like, Carlito's not going to win. He looks great, but he's not going to win. Like, I love that. What I also love is that. What I also love is that Vince McMahon inadvertently, or probably on purpose, to try and hype how many superstars are going to be in the Royal Rumble, tells you at the beginning of the show for like 2 or 3 years who's in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
So there's no surprises. And I would love that to be the case because you could still do it. You could still have like a Test and Mick Foley situation.
Yeah.
You can still do something like that. Or some, 98 where like someone just didn't come out because they were attacked because they thought it was Stone Cold. Like, you can do this bullshit. But I just want to hear Vince McMahon just say 60 names because we got a women's Royal Rumble as well. Like, tonight in the Royal Rumble, Sasha Banks.
This is where I have to take creative control and be like, "Geek, go sit down."
I just want 5 minutes of just...
Go sit down, drink a beer. You do not get to make decisions anymore.
And plus, to be honest with you, boss, as well, remember, he doesn't do it like over like 5-minute intros that we have these days. He does it in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's like it's the closest he ever got to rapping.
So a minute and a half.
As opposed to, stand back.
A minute and a half of Vince McMahon just going, Becky Lynch, Michelle McCool, the Boogeyman.
That would be a weird Rumble if the Boogeyman was in the Women's Rumble.
Hey, I'm working on it. It's 2022. Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, enough preamble.
Yes.
Get your snacks. Get your drinks. Make sure you've got your cup of tea, your glass of Coke, your Pepsi, your beer, whatever it is that is your poison of choice. We've got to get to watching some main event.
So, with that all being said, we will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. See, told you. God, she was fair.
She was.
So beautiful. I like the fact that they teased for months that was going to be a itty bitty teeny weeny polka dot bikini secret weapon, and then the day off, Macho Man refused to let her to wear a bikini, so she just had to go there in like a one piece. You get your hands off her. And so yeah, Survivor Series. So far, Moch just takes a beating while Hogan, like, sells. At one point I kind of looked like, but if you may remember, I had a little bit of a look of the Big Boss Man. Yes. Like, no, you've called it College Wolverine days, but like at one point it was kind of more Bubba. It was more Big Bubba, like. I also wonder if Hogan like didn't wear bandanas at one point and just wore like a t-shirt like Kofi Kingston did, like. Which I never understood why Kofi wore his t-shirt on his head like that, but...
Yeah.
Oh. That was the last main event, if everyone remembers. The reason this was a huge deal was Saturday main event had gone on for years, right? Saturday's main event was the show. It was the big show, right?
Yeah.
Like, you didn't have pay-per-views, you went to a Saturday main event. I love this music as well. Look at Hercules. He's finally free. So do you know the story? So I just want to say quickly what the storyline is with Hercules. Hercules was at one point managed by Bobby the Brain Heenan. He was a full-on heel. Until Heenan sold him, not his contract, him to the $1 Million Man as $1 Million Man's personal slave. In 1989.
Oh, here we go.
Look at the green screen. That is green screen. Actually, not bad green screen for 1989.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can tell massively because like it's really shitty, but that's actually quite good. Boss, hit me up with it. Come on, boss. Ooh, 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 ooh. That's what the front row was doing, for fuck's sake.
Yes, well, screw them.
The only reason he's clean shaven is because he's got a fucking movie role.
What kind of bizarreness has to occur for a guy like Slick, a
Pimp.
boisterous,
Pimp.
charismatic,
Pimp.
African American,
Pimp.
wheeling dealing character, to be
managing look at the
graphics. A Southern police officer with a penchant for violence, and someone who claims to be the African dream.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like, it's like at some point.
How tan does Mean Gene?
I mean, I always feel weird with these old school promos because it's like you can't stand still.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
So with certain people, they were trying to make it like you're imposing, you were bigger than life. I just think I was shot there, so I apologize. You were out bigger than life. So what they wanted was for you to like always be in like motion, like earthquake and typhoon in particular, because they were like constantly like holding in the powers of the natural disasters. That's why earthquake was always moving like this. He was always tremoring. African Dream. He's got a sword. He can't keep inside of him. He wants to just dance. Plus he probably watched Dusty Rhodes got a promo and thought that was a good idea. It's not a rib. And Bossman's just trying to get some attention his way. Bossman's like 24 or something here.
Sorry, what?
Bossman is like 24-year-old at this point or something. Oof. He's really young. Like Bossman hits so big and really young that by the time he's in this is what the concept of perception is.
Yeah.
In wrestling, we always think of like Hulk Hogan, right? Hogan's been bald since he was like 22 or something, right? Like he's always had that lack of hair since like 1987. But Hogan, like when everyone was calling Hogan an old man in the mid-90s, He was like the same age AJ Styles is now.
Fuck
Like,
no.
no one goes out there and calls like AJ Styles an old man. Like, you know, think about like Edge. Like Edge was when Edge first won his world championship, his first WWE championship in 2006. Edge was his early 30s. Like, like, and now he's wrestling in maybe his best condition he's ever been, and we don't hear old man about Edge. Like, oh, look at the stuff to the star moving and grooving.
I mean, that happens to me if I don't take my meds. So
I thought you were more like Akeem.
I didn't see a difference. That would be horrifying. Just you, the curtains open. What do you know something, brother?
I mean, ring rats have seen. I mean, ring rats have seen that face.
Oh God, it's not the face I'm worried about.
The world's seen the rest of it. What happened that suddenly, like in 1989, we went from having like cool music like this for like video packages to like it's 1990, so it's the 90s, so we've got to change it. Like,
I think probably capitalism, but I don't know how. All I know is that we will never have another Miss Elizabeth.
No. There are a couple that, you know, are close in the way that they style themselves. There are some that have come close in the looks department, but I don't think there's ever been one that's had the class of Miss Elizabeth to wrap it all together.
Yeah.
I remember I was listening to a podcast with Colt Cabana.
Yes.
The Art of Wrestling. I don't know if he still does it, but because I haven't listened to it in years. Funny enough, it was around about the time the CM Punk one came out, and I was sick of hearing about Colt Cabana and CM Punk. But I just remember Daphne, the late Daphne Unger. Is it Unger? Uga? But late Daphne. She was on there, and she talked about how Liz was a huge friend to her in WCW. And I'll continue once we're seen this promo. Ooh, got a bit hot there, didn't it?
Oh. It's just Kyle. It's all it is.
And here's the thing, right? What I love is that Macho Man was so much different to everyone else that, like, he's wearing a full-on sequin robe with, like, red and yellow, and, like, it's sparkling as he moves and whatnot. Nobody gets away with that these days. Like, someone come out with that these days, right? Either they're called a rip-off or they're called, you know, gay for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
The fuck was he doing his throat? What?
I don't know. Maybe some secret Illuminati shit. I don't.
No, that's the DDP logo, isn't it? Oh, it must be the handcuff thing.
All right.
And the pain and the power rushing through or some bullshit. Much as I don't like Hogan, I do love Mega Powers era.
Oh yeah, I understand.
And just look at it from aesthetically, like that red and yellow pops, doesn't it? Like,
yeah.
And also Gino just ready to wrap it up and send it back. Look at him.
Yeah.
And here comes one of the biggest bangers of the 80s. But as I was saying about Daphne and Elizabeth, apparently they'd go to the gym together. And this is when Liz was with Lex.
Yeah.
Because it was like late 99. And they'd go to the gym, and she'd do like a little workout and whatnot, and then afterwards they'd go and have a cup. They would go like they'd do like a 40-minute workout, right? So like like just calisthenics or whatever, She'd and then Liz would go and put out like a couple of cold beers and have a little beer afterwards because that was her reward for her working out. Like that's just class. On so many levels. That's class and just pure class. And also in the terms of the Geordie word, fucking class that, man. I always wondered why Hogan, who's obviously vain as fuck, never went with the hair plugs. Or do you think it was that the technology was so shit back then it was obvious?
Yeah.
And by the time it got good, it was too fucking obvious.
For me, what I'll never accept is like, do you remember when he would have that hair, which essentially just looked like he'd ripped it off a violin or something? They were like perfectly rectangular.
Yeah.
Like, it's like that was just like Hulk. What the fuck?
Do you not remember when he did the extensions as well? Like, it was during the Hogan Knows Best era, wasn't it? When he came... Because you remember at one point he came out, he had hair, like, no longer really than that. It was thinner, obviously, but no longer than that. And then he came out at one point, and suddenly he had... I was like, did his hair get thicker? Like...
Yeah.
I think it was like... Yeah, it was like... Because last time we saw him, it was like, you were lucky if it looked like fucking... Like... It was all one knot in the back, basically, when it bled. And, like, then he suddenly got the fucking extensions, and everyone was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Relax, it's okay, I got this, Trust me, brother, yeah. Okay, I'll go out then, fine, yeah. Have it your way, you always do, Terry, yeah.
If this was in the modern era, you'd be hearing a lot of how come the WWF champion isn't like this major spotlight? Why is it that it has to be, Roman Reigns always around the title or John Cena? It's like sometimes you gotta tell a story. Because if you did
it's over, Hogan just won.
That's what I've never understood about wrestling discourse.
He's at the Royal Rumble.
It's not the Royal Rumble. We already watched the Royal Rumble. The video is in our fucking library.
In the archives, as our Uncle Conrad would say. What's up, Conrad?
Hey. But it's like, what I honestly don't get about wrestling discourse, it's like people talk about, like, how, I want to say, like, proper wrestling stuff, like, generally is it's entertainment. It's like, you realize that a lot of it wouldn't happen without the sports entertainment. For fuck's sake, it's not the Royal Rumble. Don't give geek ideas.
Thank you, Jesse.
But it's like
I vote for you.
Yeah,
my vote doesn't count. I'm not a citizen. But that stopped them, right? Hey.
Yeah. But it's like people be like, "Oh, I don't like the sports entertainment." So it's like, okay, but the reason why a lot of companies are able to be successful is because of the WWE, either directly because of, or because they are serving the company they're producing is the antithesis. It's like you will never have more fans of something unless when there is something that opposes it.
Yeah.
Like you will get like a good handful of people seriously liking like a particular anime or a musician, whatever. But the second someone comes along that is the very opposite, suddenly
everyone hates it.
Huge explosion of fans. Oh well, because everyone likes to pick a side because they're fucking twats. The thoughts and opinions you don't say 1-3 do not reflect on your productions.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's very rare when Geek has to give me the lawyer talk.
It happens though. It does happen.
It does happen. Yes.
But yeah, like no, I know what you mean. And here's the thing: like, I want to get into it a little bit. Seeing as while we're watching the match and whatnot, it's probably something we'll probably pick up more with the later matches because there's not as much story driven really in them. But like I say, later matches, it might just be the Hercules matches. Any fucking less than an hour this show. Ooh.
There's a lot of yellow in this match. It's just
well, yeah, because Akeem wore the colours of Africa, didn't he? Yellow, blue, green, earth.
But it's like all blues and yellows in this match.
Very primary based.
Even the big boss man is wearing blue and yellow.
Yes. My Liz broke it up with a little bit of pink. Like, don't you dare! That's Liz. No. I would never make a thing like that, especially about Liz.
She's Princess Diana of wrestling. I understand this.
I will send you to the corner, and you will think about your actions. Actually, I won't, because to be honest with you, it took me 2 months to get you fucking to record, so I won't send you anywhere. But you will think about your actions.
No, I would. I'll be unconscious and twitching on the floor.
Yeah, that's true as well. God damn it!
But you can't punish me. I punish myself.
You
accidentally.
I was gonna say.
But yes, you were saying.
Here's the thing, right? Everyone's like, "Oh, sports entertainment sucks. Why can't we be more wrestling based than this?" There are alternatives for that.
Yeah.
You want to watch a pure wrestling show? I will give you my New Japan World info. Yes, I have New Japan World. Which does mean we may be doing some New Japan He's Got a Article in the future as a special one-off, because you can get access to that as well. Boss. It'll be just a Wrestle Kingdom, not like a fucking... I'm not going to make you watch Great Muta versus Masahiro Chono from 1995. Because it happened in 1989. Listen, and also, I said New Japan. I'm not going to make you watch All Japan and Kobashi and Misawa. Like, I'm not going to do that to you.
You understand that as much as I love you as a brother, I don't trust you.
I'm trustworthy. I mean, not if you ask the most recent people I've been talking. No, I'm not getting into that.
You're the kind of person that you literally go out of your way to send me links on Instagram just to make me jump when you can't even see me jump.
I don't go out of my way to do that. If they're on my feed and I see them, I just press send. I don't go out of my way to do it.
But it's like you can't even see me react, but in your mind you're just like, hey, he's gonna jump.
Yeah. Legitimately, that's exactly what it sounds like and what it looks like. It's like, he's gonna jump at that one. Like, you'll love that. You'll hate that, but you'll love it. Like, at the moment, let's be honest, boss, what's this been like fucking Darby Allin Sells and either the Butcher or Brody King at the moment? Like, just sending you the Butcher and Brody King to just kill people. It'd be fucking great. But like, if you want to watch pure wrestling, go watch a New Japan show. You want to watch a little bit more entertainment based with it, watch Ring of Honor. You want to watch something that is sports entertainment, despite it saying it's not sports entertainment, and it is. I don't care what any motherfucker on Twitter wants to tell me, or whatever bot is going to tell me that I'm wrong for saying this. Watch AEW.
Yeah.
AEW is a pro wrestling show, and pro wrestling at this point is more sports entertainment than anything else.
AEW is sports entertainment.
Why? It's story driven based on the entertainment of the sport.
Yeah. It's just a different approach to sports entertainment. It just has a bit more emphasis on the wrestling side of things. But that doesn't mean it's not sports entertainment.
And if you want more of an idea that it's sports entertainment, it's run by a fucking madman.
Yeah. Not only that, if it's not sports entertainment, okay, show me the taxes they're paying.
Show me the licenses.
Yeah.
If it's just
then.
Show me the... Come on. Oh, that's why you're based in Florida, right? No tax.
Oh, but there's a difference between wrestling and sports entertainment. No. There is a difference between the sports entertainment that you like and the sports entertainment that you don't. Let's not... Like, people talk about how wrestling is a dirty word because Vince McMahon doesn't like it, which I understand, and I agree. It's
belts.
Stupid. But... Yeah. Sports entertainment has become a dirty word, which is why, as much as I think he's a prick, Chris Jericho is a genius.
Oh, it's... Yeah, and not... I mean, Chris Jericho was a genius for picking the people he chose for that.
Yes.
Daniel Garcia was the most pro wrestler you were going to get. And you could tell because when he turned around and said, wait a minute, if you're a sports entertainer, the crowd was like, oh, he's going to fight back here. This is where you're going to fight back. Hold on, boss. Just want you to pay attention. Just... Just notice a few subtleties here in the storytelling. But, yep. But yeah, like...
No!
Yep.
How dare you?
Look at him grip his tit. There's 5. What the fuck, Hogan? You can check on someone while grabbing it. Why you...
For a moment,
I know.
For a moment, I forgot which way up Elizabeth was. And that really affected my head. Fuck.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Look at Savage. Like Hogan can't hear him. He's literally talking to you behind your head, mate. Like, alright, boss doesn't always hear me when I'm talking to him, staring right in front of him, but that's because you disassociate. True.
It's, yeah.
I don't, because I just don't listen all the time. What? I thought someone said something.
No. The thing is, though, it's like I would.
That was a hell of a bump.
Yeah, I would be focusing more on Miss Elizabeth myself, anyway.
Yeah, which is the logical thing that they're telling here. Like Savage is clearly winning, so you know the knight in shining armor, or I mean he's shining at least. Look, he's trying to scond with his woman. I see where Savage is coming from. I can't. I can't.
Yeah, I don't
support Hogan. No. Can't do it. I've tried. I've tried so hard.
It would be very different if it was Randy Savage and the Incredible Hulk.
No.
I mean, it would be because
it would also make sense though why Luke, like the Incredible Hulk, Luke Ferrigno couldn't actually hear him.
Yeah.
He's deaf.
The old style cameras.
Oh, Heart Foundation. Look at the Heart Foundation in the background. They must have loved it when the fucking cables were no longer an issue.
Yeah.
She's not dying, dude. She's knocked unconscious.
We can't afford the bottom left corners, I'm afraid. Oh, we were able to buy them. Vince looked at behind the sofa and went, "Oh shit, $1 million."
I've never seen this much of a backstage before. There's like usually one corridor, and they just shoot it from different angles. Be careful, it's a bit late, mate. You fucking carried her without checking her neck or anything.
Hogan, the medical services. You know what I mean? I think they're going to be a bit more careful than a hulking wrestler.
Hey, Hulk, get off her hand, dude. Just try. Go and check on her. Oh
God. Is she breathing? Well, here's the thing. You can see she's breathing. She's clearly not dead. Stop trying to cop a feel with the back of your head. What do you think? Do you notice the person with the medical services doing all the shit? And you'll go do something, please.
You know what's funny?
Oh, sorry. He's like, I'm terribly sorry.
Why is he checking her blood pressure?
Because we need to know that. I know that there's pressure.
He initially checked like for a heartbeat with a step when she walked in. He checked her eyes, and now he's doing a physical.
I mean, look, I can't make sense of everything. Okay, I can barely make sense of me.
True.
But the bottom line is,
oh, she's awake. Go help Randy.
Oh, come on. Hulk, this is not Beauty and the Beast. Get your ass back in the ring. She's fine.
Hulk, this is not Thunder in Paradise. This will not be cancelled. Get on.
What are you... Yo, Angle, back in the ring.
I like the fact that Sharmell thanked him for a fucking Hall of Fame speech. Yeah. Sharmell thanked Kurt Angle for one of the most horrendous fucking angles in history. But the Undertaker forgot to thank Mick Foley.
It's not every day that you thank another man for saying that, he wants to have raw, animalistic, bestial sex with you. It's like, I mean, it's quite polite. You know,
Yet.
it's like I want to have just with you. Thank you very much.
The Undertaker couldn't remember the Frank man he nearly killed on multiple occasions. Like the fuck. I don't I'll be honest with you. Her thanking Kurt Angle was like the second greatest moment I've ever heard in a Hall of Fame speech.
Dare I ask what the first is?
Yeah. I mean, there's a joke answer and there's a serious one. I'll do the joke answer first.
Okay.
And that was for Tori Wilson congratulating us for puberty. Because if you remember, during the Hall of Fame speech, she says, the thing I'm told most is, oh my God, I loved you and you've helped me so much during puberty.
Yeah.
And Big E, Xavier Woods, and Kofi Kingston all give her a standing ovation. And the real answer is Razor.
Oh, of course.
Razor's line may be the greatest finish to any Hall of Fame speech ever.
Bad times don't last.
But bad guys do. Also, Razor could have just said that. Yeah. And like the only thing he would have had to say at the beginning of his speech, he could have had a 30-second speech, and 20 seconds of it would have been just him like this, looking around as he went, "Hey yo."
Well.
Tag him in, turn around, flipping the birds, stunner. Sorry, different era.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a tag for you. What do you mean it's for? He's fucked off with his missus. They don't call Macho Man Randy Savage Bubba the Love Sponge. Do I have to beep that?
What?
Do I have to beep that?
What, Bubba the Love Sponge?
Yeah.
No.
Hogan's known to sue around that issue, isn't he? There you go. What's he gonna get from fucking me? Like, good luck, son. I could do with the publicity. Like, what's amazing is sometimes you can see when a character is more comfortable being a heel or a babyface.
Yes.
You could never tell that with Savage.
No.
Savage was just comfortable being Savage.
Yes. Although in fairness, comfort is not something I would always associate with Macho Man Randy Savage.
I don't know. Have you seen that Demon on Demon looking into the beach, the ocean picture? Come on, dude. Cowboy boots, red bandana. He looks comfortable as fuck. Looks like he's just waiting for some Instagram.
Don't touch the merchandise.
Sure.
So somebody slapped the title, and it's like, you don't slap the title.
Hands off the merchandise.
Yeah. You want to touch the merchandise? Buy it yourself and go win one.
Back then, I think you only get those foam ones as well, couldn't you?
You know what? Probably, yeah.
I don't think it was till the late 90s I ever saw someone with like a legitimate replica belt.
Yeah. I mean, hell, I've got 3 replica belts on my wall and only one of them is legit. So, the European Championship and the WWF Championship are from a really good maker on eBay, but the World Heavyweight Championship one is legit.
But either way, I don't even think like it was late '99. Anyone thought about doing custom replicas. Like,
yeah,
there's a Hogan big boot, apparently a fist that knocked Bubba, knocked Boss Man silly, so you get the win.
Yeah.
That shirt is drenched. That is changed colour. Also, you couldn't do this in 2022, could you? A black manager with a corrupt police officer. Come on, guys, that's not going to work.
Meeting of the minds.
Oh, he's handcuffed and together. Definitely couldn't get away with that flag on his shirt.
Yeah.
Are they the winners though? I mean, they won the match, but are they the
Maybe the
winners?
real winners are the friends who made along the way.
Is that what we're gonna? Is that what needs to be on that Macho Man picture? That's the inspirational fucking Instagram bullshitty fucking post that.
Yes.
But you see some fucking influencer girl, you know, who's also gonna put like ad at the bottom of it because she's selling fucking tea or some bullshit.
Oh God, here we go.
I've checked about her once. He's just fucking berating her for being in the way, like for like Hogan taking her unconscious body away. The fuck. I like how like Hogan says that this was like legit because like he didn't, because of half the stuff they were supposed to do, like Randy just went off script.
Ooh.
Poor Liz.
Yeah.
There it is. You don't ask. Yep. You don't tell.
Yeah.
You don't go and. He's just told you not to talk to her. The first thing you do is. What do you expect? Savage taking us back to the territory days. Like, I'll bust you open the hard way, bitch. Like. Sorry, I think Bruce catched it. Oh. Fucking Brutus, the barber,
Well,
big kick. Oh, there's a Pat Patterson.
Good or reliable Brutus, yeah.
Pat Patterson, Nick
Hulk Hogan,
Bockwinkel. Have you seen the fucking agents? I only know. There goes Pat. There's Nick Bockwinkel, for fuck's sake. Why does it look like Brutus? I mean, he always wore really bad tights, in my opinion. But them ones in particular look like he hasn't got them like coloured or anything. It just looks like he went and bought some tights from like his local shop and put a few holes in them.
Yeah, you can still pick them in the WWE Creative.
Yeah. I never have, never will, probably. Bockwinkel asking Hogan, you still think it's a good idea to...
Before Hogan.
She thinks
I mean, I've not.
Here comes the mighty Hercules.
Here he comes, mighty Heracles.
Hercules. Of course, Hercules is a babyface now, so he has to wear colour rather than black.
It's Wolverine's older brother.
Saber-tooth.
Oh shit, yeah, that is a thing.
Kind of. It all depends on which. It depends on which canon and where you're watching. Like, get out the way, lads. I wonder if that actually wasn't. This might not have been a green screen one, actually.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
That's actually really hard. I've tried to do something similar.
How do you think you got those abs? Yeah, I think I'm just like, please don't do that again. Maybe I'm just standing there going, I don't see the problem.
Yeah, our finger's like a foot taller than you, that's why.
Yeah. I'm the kind of person that can walk with his head held up high as I get to a helicopter.
Boss doesn't have to check, you know, this. You must be this high to ride this ride because, like, Boss just knows he won't make it.
Yeah. On the plus side, they can't see me get on. That wasn't a report. That was a camera angle and a shrug.
He's hurt. Thanks, me and Gene. Cool. We sell a man to a...
Don't let him open a charity.
You know, today, like, the $1 million man would be the $1 billion man, right? And, like...
Oh, it'd have to be.
He'd already been in space 4 times. Like, he'd have a private fucking mansion there or some bullshit, right? Like...
Oh, bugger. Overpowered me Pepsi. Like a fool.
You're a fool. Look at this. This is classic. They just popped for, like, a huge atomic drop. Like... He's out the Royal Rumble. Didn't even get his gear off.
But
Jesse said it beforehand.
Oh, so if Jesse said it, it must be true.
What this TV show says, right?
Yeah.
Something to do with, like, conspiracies or some bullshit. Like,
I swear to God, at this point, he should be president just for the shits and giggles.
they tried that once. Didn't work out too well for a huge part of the population. Like,
Yeah.
only, you know what? It was pretty recently they tried it as well. Can you imagine the reform they'd have as well, though? Like,
Yeah.
we didn't get him by the legs, we got him by the arse. That's weird. Also, I don't think I've ever seen, like... Yeah, I thought that was. Like, I didn't realise it at first. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen, like, DiBiase with, like, a skin colour, for lack of a better term, like, elbow pad.
No.
Must be like, I wonder if it's like a compression sleeve or something, you know, for like injuries.
Could be. Oh, there's some bounce.
DiBiase could take a bump like, couldn't he? Yeah. Didn't have to do it very often, like, but he did.
Yeah. For a man with that much money, it's amazing how much he sells.
Hey, you got to buy and sell in the stock trade.
Oh, we'll go back to the first aid room.
I also don't need that camera angle. Like, I don't need to be right up in there, you know? Like,
if you were watching this with all those light stuff and you were dropping acid, I swear to God, it must be a trip.
I'm just glad I know where J.J. Abrams got his information from. The fucking lens flares on this sumbitch. I wanted to look like Saturday Night's Main Event in 1988. But it's Star Trek. Yeah. What's your point, kid?
Yeah.
I don't know why I don't know why that's...
Kid? What's your point, kid? Then Jesse, this is the point of the match. To fall.
There it is. Oh, I love... He had a great fist drop. Do you know Jerry Lawler has a theory? I mean, Jerry Lawler had famously one of the best punches in the business.
Yeah.
And Jerry Lawler's theory was, you're not punching so that the guy in the third row can see. You're punching so the guy 100 rows back can see.
Ah, that's an interesting thought, actually.
Because the guy in the front row can see all the little things, see all the little, the nuances. But the guy 100 rows back, he can't. He could just see what, like, oh, he just threw a punch, like. So yeah,
I always loved that fall. That just kind of like the feet, knees forward. It's like there's just something very rhythmic about it.
It was like someone pointed out maybe that recently that Bret Hart's, like, you want to break apart like the execution of excellence of execution. And one of the things they did was they went, look at Bret Hart's second rope drop elbow drive. And it wasn't a dive, it's a drive. Bret's legs spray all out. Bret measures the forearm. He measures it all, and then he jumps. But he also had a little bounce before. Like he had like this really cool post about it. And I was like, yeah. I was also recently answered a post on Twitter about when you say the greats to never win a WWF championships, who's the ones that came to mind? And DiBiase's like one of mine straight away. Like DiBiase, Jake, Mr. Perfect, William Regal. I'm maybe missing a couple that I put there, but that's personally mine.
Did you say Owen Hart?
Sorry?
Did you say Owen Hart?
I didn't say Owen, no. No, that's a good point, though. Owens definitely would be on that list.
Yeah.
You know, I only had like so many characters.
Yeah.
Owen and you could argue Davey could have got the world championship instead of the Intercontinental at SummerSlam '92. But I think it was the right spot for where Davey was. Plus, the match would have been him versus Savage, and I don't think maybe that sort of, like them two would have worked.
I do think something interesting about the discussion of two champions is that something that I don't think a lot of people actually do discuss. Because we talk about all the time people who should have been a champion.
Yeah.
And I think they look at it from the point of view of all the work that they've done. It's like, okay, that's a fair point. However, you got to remember, once you make them champion, you got to book them as a champion. You got to run with them as a champion. And that is a lot harder. You know, that is much easier said than done.
Yep.
For a lot of people. Like, because it sounds like it just makes sense on paper. Like, okay, Nick Roberts is WWE champion. It's like, okay, what's your program?
Heel Jake versus Hogan.
That? Yeah, but
do that for 3-4 months. Hogan takes it back.
Yeah, but that's like, how do you book the champions of that? And with some people, you can do that easily. This is not to say that people are wrong in the list. It's like, no, love it makes sense. But it's like, even for someone like me, where William Regal is my boy, and I say he should have been WWE champion, it's like, okay, how are you booking that? Because it's all well and good, you know, and some people are going to say WWE has no problem putting the titles on people who aren't going to draw, because Jinder Mahal, it's like, okay. But
except Jinder Mahal did.
Yeah.
Jinder Mahal booked, he just didn't book in the States.
Yeah.
Sorry, drew. Jinder Mahal drew to 1.3 billion people.
Yeah.
In a world that largely still believes that it's a shoot.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that to be like insensitive or anything like that.
Yeah.
From what I've been told by fans of that, like, you know, second, third generation fans of, you know, Indian descent, a lot of their grandparents and even their parents don't believe the whole thing's a shoot.
Yeah.
Like, no one's smarting the Indian audience up. At least not largely anyway.
Yeah, it's like, because I'm building like a TW universe where there's like one or two companies in India. Like, so I'm building some stuff of that, and the basis of those companies are presented as a shoot. You know, because of that thing, and with some artistic flair, because India has a fantastic
cultural flair,
a lot of beautiful stuff. Like, I'm even like started to get a little bit into things like Bollywood and stuff like that. Just because there's such an artistry and such a fun charisma.
Yeah, I mean their whole cinema world, like their whole cinema world, out of the, you know, outside of just the traditional Bollywood stuff that was presented to like the world. Why is he holding a fucking Slim Jim? Like, or something. Like, what's he holding there? He's got like a snack in his fucking hand. Like,
you know,
that's weird. But like, it's like a taffy or something. Oh, here we go. At least
more yellow.
At least Brutus could put a t-shirt on or a jumper.
All the yellow.
Now, does that say Hulkamania or does it say Ghost Gym? I don't know what happened. Got clocked with a belt, dickhead. What did he just do?
He turned into the Ultimate Warrior. Oh, he's either hulking up or the acid is kicked in. Oh no!
It's a
The
knock.
Dr. Jekyll and Hyde formula's wearing off.
It's a knock to the head. This is
Hogan, right, Hogan, I've been in this situation. You need to lie down. The seizure's about to hit hard. Oh my god. He's gonna turn into Bruce Banner? Or Hulk Hogan? Oh my god, he's gonna turn to Hulk Hogan on Super Soldier Serum.
To be honest with you, I just thought he was going to shit
He's
his
going
pants.
to eat Freddie Prinze Jr.
I just thought he was going to shit his pants. Like, that's what I thought. Like, on a rampage.
He went for a walk.
Hulk Hogan's on a rampage. Friday nights on TNT.
Yeah. I used to go on rampages along the pond to see the ducks.
That's right, Jesse. That's right. I have you on the lowest volume I can have you, and it sounds like you're on 10.
Yeah.
Shut up, you pompadour wearing toupee. Oh.
Jesse Ventura. How is he dressed less more flamboyantly than Ace Ventura?
Ace Ventura wishes he had Jesse the Body's wardrobe.
Vince, I like how Vince is supposed to be asking questions, yet he's getting angry.
Because he always defends his point. That's the one thing that we've always heard from you just support your favourites. Oh, he's on a rampage. He's tearing up those. Oh, he threw a chair. Look, he's slamming the door. Then goes a gym bag. Not the heavy box.
He's
Didn't hit the guy though, did he? Didn't hit the guy.
Here come.
Oh, that's the Ambo, isn't it? Yes. That's the
You're sir on no.
Oh, that's Sean. It's Sean. That's why he oversold in '95. In '05, sorry. There's Brett. That's the closest he's ever going to get to a match.
Kiss.
Oh, there's Martin. Yeah, he knows a true killer. Is that Shane? Yeah. Tony Chimel.
That looked like a Shane.
Tony Chimel. And I will always say Tony Chimel because that's how Boss says it.
I used to say, okay, all right. I used to say Tony Chimel, all right. I thought it was one of those things where people just weren't pronouncing it right because people say Tony Chimel. Chimel. All right.
Everyone in the world pronounced it Tony Chimel, and Boss went, "Well, you're all wrong, obviously." So it's Tony Chimel.
You know what's funny?
Mm-hmm.
It's because you say that everyone pronounces that way. I literally never heard anybody in the WWE pronounce the name because they don't talk about the announcer unless it's Lillian Garcia.
Hola, mamacita.
So the first time I ever heard his name being pronounced correctly was like when he was coming to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Somebody said, Chimel. Chimel.
So I'm just going to apologise quickly. We seem to have a little bit of interference. Boss is coming across, but there is now and again sound like he's on auto-tune. I don't know what's going on with that, but
I would love that.
But yeah, for some reason there's now every now and again you sound like you're doing a T-Pain song.
I would love that. I would love for someone to pitch correct. I will happily record a song with someone pitch correcting me.
That's not pitch correct. It's that whole robot voice bullshit.
Auto-tune is an actual thing.
I know.
It's a brand, stuff like that.
I know. I'm well aware.
If I turn voice mod on, I could be auto-tuned, but I won't.
No, because that will break it even more.
It will break even more.
Not sure what's going on. I assume that though there's probably just another thing using my Wi-Fi.
Possibly.
Because that's usually how this works, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? But that was the main event, one of the most historic moments in wrestling as well. Boss, this whole show is so I can sit and watch great wrestling or mediocre wrestling. Fuck it. This whole show is based around the idea that I can watch wrestling with you. And in particular, this year, we are going through 1989, as we have said. The reason being is that a lot of the stuff will be kind of new to me. All of it will be almost exclusively, all of it anyway, is brand new to you. So,
yes.
Can I get a little bit of feedback? What do you think? What do you think about it?
If I'm going to be painfully honest,
yep,
it was good. It's good. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It wasn't really about the quality of the wrestling match.
No.
Clearly.
Yep.
This is clearly an episode that's like, we're here to tell a story.
Yep.
And we are going to have this other match, which is basically just to allow us time to have a brief breather before we come back to Hogan on a Rampage.
Which is always what typically what the main event, Saturday main event, what we've seen already was lots of like, we'll put the big thing at the beginning, the big thing at the end, and then or even not even the end, in the middle, but we'll give you lots of things in between it. You know, the newest Saturday main events that we'll probably get to at some point, you know, the 08s and the 06s and them ones, had that feel, but there was a lot of like, we're still, you know, Monday night, it's still Raw and SmackDown-esque, so we need to do like lots of things as well. So yeah, that was 10W what this is. It was like, we need to get a spotlight on a big thing. The first main event, for instance, I did briefly mention it, was the 2 referees, Andre wins the belt.
Yeah.
That was the first one. So like, no, that's what you got to take into account here, you know. When it came to you know, I still enjoyed the little, and then even then, there wasn't, you know, it was a count out finish, so the Hercules match you can get continues, you know, you bring that round the horn and whatnot. I think there was a fun, and like I said, it's one of the most iconic moments ever of, you got lust in your eyes for Elizabeth, you know. Which is a line I've said to Boss for years and years, because it's one of my favorite Savage lines. You got lust in your eyes for Elizabeth. Love me like a brother, do you? Huh? Yeah, not tonight, not any night. Yeah. Dig it. But like, yeah.
I'm a little too posh for that. I don't have lust, I have carnal desires.
Carnal desires. No, carnal desires. I can't do it. Doesn't work. Carnal desires.
Trust me, Hogan couldn't say it either.
But yes, so that was the main event, you know, and that I believe we have one more Saturday night's main event to come as well. That will probably sort some fillers, and we'll probably get more of a heel sort of Savage. And if I remember, so the big thing about that is, where is Liz? Whose side is Liz on?
Whose side is she on?
I believe that's the big big thing, is like, is Liz with Hogan, or is Liz going to manage Savage, because she has managing deals with both of them, and WrestleMania is, you know, already on the roll. And then in 2 episodes time of the WWF side of things, it will be WrestleMania 5 and the Mega Powers explode.
And so basically then what happened is, just to spoil everything, she decides she doesn't want either of them, and she decides to go ahead and manages Bret Hart, and, you know, goes on to form one of the greatest dynasties the wrestling empire has ever seen. Wait, no, that's my fantasy booking.
Wait, I thought she had both of them because she was hardcore.
That's Tommy Dreamer.
I always get them mistaken.
Yeah, you know, Tommy Dreamer, Miss Elizabeth.
It's easily done. What? I'm sorry. And also, I've been watching a lot of ECW recently. Back off.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyhow, so what do we have coming in the next episode?
The very next episode, we are going back to where I think Boss's loyalties would have been back in the day if he was a fan and choosing. We're going back to the territories, baby. The last territory, kind of, you know, there was Memphis, but the last big one, because we're going to Jim Crockett Promotions. We're going to WCW Wrestling. RASSLIN. That's wrestling. And we are going to go watch Clash of Champions 5, which I cannot remember the card of, but I do remember it sets in motion the Chi-Town Rumble, which will be our pay-per-view, our first pay-per-view since our Royal Rumble that we'll be watching, and our first pay-per-view of WCW, because we'll get into it a little bit more in the next episode, but WCW at this point was WCW. It was no longer NWA, because it had already, in September of the previous year, it had been taken over by Ted Turner.
Oh.
I just want you to know, I'm in the wrestling business, Vince. That's great. I'm in the entertainment business.
He said, I'm in the wrestling business. I congratulated him.
But as always, you can find myself at Geek Streams, G33K STREAMS on Twitter. You can find me on Twitch at Geek King, G33K KING. And of course, you can find all of our beautiful merchandise at either geekking.redbubble, same way as the other before, or now at menandarmchairs.bigcartel.com. They are, of course, in the links below. You can find Boss Caulfield at Steve Jones 313. It's good for what else, yeah? And that is everywhere. You can find him on that. That's Twitch. That's freaking. I mean, you can find him on Twitch. He wouldn't do much, but you can.
Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Ask.fm, pretty much everywhere.
Pretty much everywhere that anywhere that you can put a custom username in, you'll find him. Even some stuff that you can't, which is weird.
Hell, I'm still on Tumblr.
He is, and he's really getting to an age where it's like, someone might knock on his door and just check that check that he's not,
Yeah. Also on Reddit as well. So
yes, Reddit. I'm on Reddit, but quite frankly, I got bored of it.
I bet you did.
I got bored of Reddit really quickly.
This has been a nice little show. But obviously we got the pay-per-view to watch. So for whatever you guys have got planned for the rest of the day, we hope you have fun, stay safe, don't get into too much trouble.
And as always, remember, we are MIA, Men in Armchairs, and we promise even if we have to do these catch-up sessions, we will be around when we need to be. I mean, I could keep going on and on and on, but I think it's about time that we hear those famous words, and hopefully they'll happen soon. Look, you can see all the links below, everything, all of that good stuff. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel it's necessary.
Oh, please, will you stop?
And you know what, Gorilla? I think we will. There are everybody.
Bye.